It was the most important weekend of my life so far. It was the most stressful weekend of my life so far. I stood there in the arena, holding my head low. I was under the weather, I did not feel well, and I was definitely not up for what was about to happen. I heard the screams and the cheering of the crowd and of the audience. It gave me goosebumps. I had my best friend standing next to me and comforting me as we held hands and bowed our heads to pray. I thought about everything else during that prayer. I zoned out. I lost the world in my thoughts. I was stressing out about what was about to happen. On November 10th of 2011, I had the opportunity to compete at the Georgia High School Association state competition for varsity high school competition cheerleading. I was a senior, and it was my last year competing. It was very important because I had scholarship scouts there looking at me and two other girls on my team for college scholarships. My team had made it this far. We had won title after title at various competitions earlier in the season. We won regionals, sectionals, and now we were about to compete for the top 6 in state. I felt butterflies in my stomach. These were not the good ones. I had been ill and was about to compete with sickness. But at this point, I didn't know if these were negative butterflies because of my sickness or if they were just because I was nervous. I felt sweat beating down my face. My heart was racing, and I could literally feel the adrenaline running through my body. It was about to happen. The announcer was about to call our team on the floor. Then, before I could barely anticipate it, all I heard was, "Dawson County, you may take the floor." I ran out shaking and cheering. It was like everything went silent. Then I heard the announcer say, "Dawson County, you may begin." There was a moment of slow motion. I just looked around the arena from left to right at everybody. Then all of a sudden, the music cut on, and it was like everything else in the world did not matter. There were several hard elements within the routine. I was a flyer, and I had to execute a stunt that I had only learned and practiced for a week before this competition. I got thrown up in the air, and as soon as I did, I felt a wobble underneath me, and my bases were underneath me. So I thought something happened with my bases, and I was just unconcentrated, and I was ready to fall, and I just thought it was the end, and that it was over. But before I knew it, I was right back up, and I was straight and confident, and I executed the stunt beautifully. Next was my tumble pass. This was the next hard element in my routine. And as I was standing there before I went, I just felt weak, and I felt tired. And I didn't know what to do, so I just sat there and I thought about it. But then, when it was my turn, I took a huge breath and I started my tumble pass. I trusted my muscle memory. Very, very much I trusted it. As I started to go into my last element of my tumble run, which was a back tuck, I could no longer feel my legs. I started to cry, and before I knew it, I had landed on my feet and I stood tall. At that moment, I had never felt so proud of myself. After the routine was finished, I practically stumbled off the mats with my teammates holding me up. Time passed, and it was time for the award ceremony. They were announcing third place, and they had not yet said our school name. Second place, the announcer said, and once again, it was not our school name. First place, the announcer said. I looked around with anticipation, and in the circle I was sitting in with my teammates. I looked at my teammates, and I saw some of them were nervous, I saw some of them were praying, I saw some of them were already celebrating, and me, I was in doubt. And then before I knew it, the announcer said, "Dawson County High School AA Championships of the State." And I was just so proud of myself, and I got up and I struggled to get the trophy because I was too excited, and it was just full of emotion. Who knew that through my struggle and through my team's imperfections that we could win state? That's just amazing. The scholarship scout offered all 3 of the girls on the team scholarships to 3 different schools. He offered me a scholarship to the University of Georgia for my freshman year for a full ride scholarship, and of course, I accepted.